taking the time to be here. We've started the registration. For those who haven't registered, please make your way down to the back and do that. It's important that we have your details. So the Lges conference, we're here again, 2.0. Last year was explosive. Those that made it here, who was here last year? Okay. It was explosive, and we intend, by God's grace, for this one to be even more insightful and even more explosive. We're starting the icebreaker first. That is one of the things we need to do. So you guys, please engage. I will be asking very simple questions, nothing too mind-boggling. All right, what's your name? And what do you intend to gain at the conference today?
Good morning. My name is Bola Oladujoy. Knowledge. We tend to get knowledge. That's what life is all about. Continuous knowledge. Thank you.
You're welcome again. Yes, he said knowledge. I want to go to the next person here, a distinguished gentleman. How are you doing, sir? Your name and what you came here for.
Sorry, my name is Jamie Akobe. I'm actually one of the panelists here. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, you're welcome. Distinguished guest. What about you, madam?
Thank you. My name is Seyu Memos. I'm actually supposed to moderate the panel sessions, but primarily I'm also here to learn the most I can.
So we have knowledge, we have learning, which is very, very vital to the human experience. I don't know if this wire can get all the way, but I will try. Fantastic. Okay, good.
My name is Roms. Also hoping to gain some knowledge and impact on knowledge as well. From the panel sessions, I hope that certain questions that myself and young people have can be answered.
Sorry, please. Madam, can you make your way down here? Thank you so much.
My name is Jedediah, so I'm here to gain knowledge too also and understand how local government elections are being run in Lagos State.
Thank you so much. Please, a round of applause for you guys, for yourselves, from learning to having knowledge to also having an understanding of how governance works. It's very important. We as civilians, we as a community, especially at the local government level, have the mindset that this thing is not for them at the top alone. We are supposed to be active participants. All right, so you guys, a round of applause again, one more time for yourselves. Thank you. All right, I'll be welcoming our host. I'll call him the host because he's the guy that's going to give us the starter pack for why we're here. All right, so you guys, a warm round of applause for Eram Zadele.
Good morning. Good morning once again. We have decided to start. The rain has plans, or had its own plan. But I believe our plans. The rain had its own plans, but our plans are more important, so we'll go ahead with our plans. The good part is we are streaming live, and I believe information about the streaming link is currently being sent, on our communication platforms, our social media, and our bulk SMS/bulk emails. So we know that people are currently tuning in. I can see some comments as well. What I'm going to do for like the next 20 minutes is something that we felt as a team was not properly addressed during the last conference. During the last conference, what we had was more of conversations. We had panel sessions with influencers, panel sessions with CSOs, and then panel sessions with two people who are active politicians in the country. Right? So we had various conversations. We got to ask questions. We got answers to our questions. However, from the feedback and our monitoring and evaluation, from the feedback and our monitoring and evaluation, I think two minutes.
What?
So from the feedback, we decided that this first conference would be an intimate conference where we speak and teach certain things, and these things that we'll teach will of course go up on our social media. We are young people, we are the tech age, we don't always show up physically. I mean, now you can stream. If people can stream church services and not come physically, who is that better? So we are going to do a lot of streaming, this conference and the next conference. So I'm going to start by saying this. This might be a deadening statement. I think I made the statement, was it on Wednesday? I was at a gathering and I made the statement and people were like, we do not agree, but we agree. And here is the statement. If we had a functioning local government, with financial autonomy and all of that, what happened in Benue might not have happened. Now, you're probably wondering, what is the president, is the governor? Don't worry. Probably after we finish this conversation, you will understand my point of view. With functioning local governments, a lot of things that we experience now in Nigeria will not experience them anymore. So let's go to the next item on my list. Let's talk about the roles of the local government. We are saying, with a functioning local government, there will be better security, right? Okay, how does the local government, what's its business with the security? So, I've been able to compile the function of the local government to try and make it easier and simpler to understand. So I'm just going to go with the first 8 of what I compiled. Infrastructure development, public health, education, social services, economic development, and security. I actually think that's 6. Yes, that's 6. I'm going to go through them one by one. Today we're going to have some ward councillors in our midst. And I met one of them last week Saturday. One of the things he was complaining to me about was, as a ward councillor, people are already telling me I should come and build roads. We should understand that the role of the ward councillor is different from the local government chair. First, it's not the job of the ward councillor to build roads. The local government chairman can construct roads and maintain roads. Like your inner streets. I don't know if we have noticed, but I think most of our young audience are our young audience. Honestly, our young audience are of age where we know that certain roads are federal roads. Certain roads are federal roads, certain roads are state roads. What that simply means is this road is the road fixing this road fixing what's going on? So when we say they are state and they are federal, we understand that certain roads have certain responsibilities. So roads like your inner roads, as you leave the express, you want to get home, and the road is bad. I understand the president might not be your fave, he might be your fave, it doesn't matter, but it's not his responsibility to fix those roads. So that's where the local government chairman comes in, right? We're talking drainage systems, we're talking bridges. So drainage system, in certain states like Lagos, where we experience flooding, it's the job of the local government chairman to work with the people responsible, like the commissioner, is to work with them to find solutions. One of the reasons, before I go on, one of the reasons we are stating this is, I think I've already mentioned this, or I've mentioned this in a couple of our reels. We want young people to know who to hold responsible. Because when you hold the wrong person responsible, the wrong person gets away with it because it's not his responsibility, so why should he do it? Now the person who should be held responsible gets away with it as well because they are not asking him the right questions. Are we together? So I might be shaking a lot of tables, and I'm still going to talk about something because I know some people are like, okay, this will not work until, so don't worry, I'm still getting there. And of course, public infrastructure. Public health. A lot of us young people, from now to the next 4 years, if you are not married, you're already planning marriage. If you don't have toddlers, you're already planning for children. It's the job of the local government chair to establish primary health care centers. For example, maternity care. That is not the only type of primary health care center, but I want to focus on that. We are currently experiencing inflation across the country. And I think it's a video that we are releasing tomorrow, or is it Monday? I don't remember, but we spoke about this. If, with the inflation we are experiencing, we have to pay less for medical checkup, either maternity care or we just want to, we have small malaria and typhoid, we just want to go to a primary health care center and get it fixed. We don't have to plan and be looking for plenty money. It will save us a lot. We won't feel the impact of the harsh economy as much as we are feeling now. And that simply means with a functioning local government chairman and ward councillors, they kind of impact our pockets, they impact our inflow, they impact our expenses. Do you understand? I'm trying to rush through this because there's a particular place I want to stay on. Now, still talking about starting a family. You might have younger ones in primary school, or you might even have toddlers in primary school. You have toddlers that are preparing for primary school. It's the job of the local government chair to provide primary education, quality primary education. A lot of us can't send our children or our younger ones to public schools because of the quality of the education, right? And that's also not the job of Tinubu. There are federal schools that should be better. That's another conversation entirely. But in your locality, there should be primary schools with quality education, where your children can go to school safely, come back safely, learn properly, and not join any group, questionable group. It's the job of the local government chair. Now, economics, the economy. The local government chairman has the responsibility to promote local economic growth. We see this a lot when we say that there is empowerment. Local government is doing empowerment, and we attend those empowerments, or we look at those empowerments and we see certain things like grinding machine being shared and keke napep, if the local government chairman is kind enough, because keke napep now is very expensive. So they might just do grinding machines, wheelbarrows, and questionable stuff. While I don't fault that in totality, I'm going to talk about why I don't fault that. But it's the job of the local government chairman to ensure that even the empowerment is innovative enough to contribute to economic growth. When we are saying empowerment, is your empowerment feeding to only a certain type of people? Because those wheelbarrows actually is empowerment, but only for a certain type of people. And what is it really contributing to economic growth? There is no reason why a local government cannot create a tech hub, build one. There are local governments that are doing that. There's no reason why local governments cannot partner with a fiber optics company to come and set up fiber optics in their local government. Now people have access to good internet, unlimited internet, and all of that. Now why I'm saying this is, we need innovative ideas. Now back to, because I can see someone is like, how do you say you don't fault sharing of wheelbarrow? Back to the sharing of wheelbarrow. Why I don't fault it is, how many of us here attend ward meetings, or how many of us watching attend ward meetings? I don't. You are a politician and you attend. You are running for office, so you attend. I don't see any hands up, and I'm very sure our viewers, there will be no hands up. So if you do not attend ward meetings, and certain people attend ward meetings, when there is a memo going around that we want to do empowerment, what do you need? What do you think these people would ask for? They will ask for what they actually need. Because if we leave the party activities and attending of ward meetings to the regular everyday people, we are still even regular everyday people, but I'm sure you understand what I mean. Their requests will not be what we would request for. So if we are not well represented at those ward meetings and memos go out for empowerment, we can't then fault the local government chair or the local government representative for providing his people what they said they need. If you are not there to ask for the internet, if you are not there to ask for the tech hub, there is no reason for them to put a budget for it. So that's also where we come in as young people. We must participate. We must start to attend our ward meetings. If you have to join a political party for you to attend the ward meetings, join a political party. It's not an occultic group. It's literally our civic responsibility. As far as I'm concerned, almost every young person should be in a political party by now if you're above 25. Because this is our future. The last one I'm going to talk about is security. The local government chair or representatives should collaborate with security agencies to maintain law and order. I know there is a lot of technicality around that. For example, the federal is in charge of security, and unless you're talking vigilantes, or now that we have things like Amotekun that has been passed by law, all those kind of vigilante groups, it's really difficult for the local government to handle security how they would love to handle security. Like I said, there's a lot of technicalities. But when we get involved as young people and we understand this is at play. However, like I said earlier, if we know that it will take our participation for things like the massacre at Benue to stop happening, then we must participate. It's our responsibility. The local government chair can have the best intentions, right? I don't think, well, I might be wrong, but I don't think it's, okay, I'm not wrong. I'm very sure there are a lot of local government chairmen. I don't know if it's all, but I'm sure there are a lot of local government chairmen that would hear that people are being killed in their local government and they'll be very sad about it. They want to do something about it, but the system is holding them back. And the only way that they can fight the system is through the people. They can't fight it as individuals. There's really nothing they can do. But when the people say, let's pass laws, let's do this, let's come together to ensure that things like this change. It was young people a couple of years ago that passed the Not Too Young to Run bill. A couple of young people across the country, and it passed. So, as far as we are concerned, our lives, our properties can be easily affected by the forthcoming local government elections. It's not something that we would say, let's not do it. If we're holding a gubernatorial sensitization or a presidential sensitization, I'm sure this hall will be full. Because we did that the last election. We did like 14 months of sensitization, helped over 500,000 Nigerians across the country with their PVC, online and offline. So because it was presidential and gubernatorial, there was crowd. But that's not sustainable. That's not sustainable. We must see, you need connections to meet the president, serious connections. You need serious connections to meet the governor. But the funniest part, you can walk in and meet your local government chairman easily. That's the person that is directly connected to you as an individual. You can go to his office, write letter. I think when we hired Honorable Ajala, the LCDA chairman of Odiolowo local government last year, some people were asking, and I think I even had to come up and answer, so it doesn't sound like he was lying. How we invited him, we simply went to his office and dropped letter. I didn't know him from anywhere. I didn't know him before. Dropped letter. He contacted our number. Okay, I heard that you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this. I would like to be there. And he came. If we had worked with the mindset that, these guys are so impossible to reach, blah, 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 they wouldn't have come. And I had to say that because he's also in the APC. And this is also for our APC representative here. Maybe you can take it back to your party. But a lot of people believe that the APC distances itself from conversations where young people are together. Like when young people want to have conversations, the APC just steps back. They want to demystify themselves. At least I saw a difference last year when we invited Honorable Ajala, and he came. Honorable Ajani, who is a serving House of Assembly member, was also supposed to come, and he's also in the APC. But if I remember clearly, he had to represent the president at an international conference in a European country, so he couldn't be here. He wanted to even join virtually, but that time we had not made plans for streaming, so he couldn't join. And I was very surprised, right? So, I mean, for APC, our APC representative here, if we can have more participation, more interactions with candidates who are running, with people who are occupying positions, we would love to talk with them. Let us also understand. There might be some form of tension with the youths and the APC. I know that I'm not going to deny that fact. But if we can have conversations, if we can talk, I'm very sure we would understand ourselves. Do you understand? Because the fact that Honorable Ajala and Honorable Ajani both wanted to come for our conference, and one of them even came. One didn't come, but one of them came. It actually did something to my understanding of the party. And I'm very sure you can do that for a lot of people. Because that also helps you in elections, right? You need the system and you need the people. Yeah, so let's talk about internally generated revenues of the local government. That's the next one we'll talk about. There is no time. But I think I just breezed through. But let me breeze through again. The ward councillor, because we're going to have 2 ward councillors here today. Their responsibilities are not to build roads, but things like legislation. They come together, they put together laws, submit to the local governments, see if these laws can be passed, at least within the locality or even at state level, right? They also, go through the budget. And as well, they act as a liaison between the local government and the people. So if you can't even reach your local government chairman, maybe he's unavailable for a few days or a few weeks, your ward councillor is the easiest reach, and he can even take you to the local government chair directly. So now back to internally generated IGR of the local government. The reason I'm talking about this IGR is to still shed light on the local government, to let all of us see that there is money, that these people handle money. And I'm not saying they handle money so that we'll ask them for our courts, but to make us understand that we can benefit by participating. They generate money apart from the one that federal government gives them. They can use different methods, parking tickets. Someone is laughing. I won't say what you want me to say. Well, partnerships, trade, and by trade, let me just stay on that for a bit. Do we observe that foodstuff in the north, when it comes down to the south, is more expensive? Transportation, right? Security agencies and all that, they pay all these dues. But as someone who has done business in agriculture for a long time, there are local governments that you pass through. Maybe from the north down here, you might pass like 20 local governments. And these 20 local governments will be telling you to pay local government fine or fee. Now you pay this across 20 local governments. Of course, the price will reflect on the goods. Now, I'm not saying whether they should collect or they should not collect, but the point remains that they are generating revenue through that. So there is income that is coming in. What are they doing with the income? So it's also our responsibility as citizens to have these conversations. What are you doing with our money? As I said that now, I just how do we even approach them to ask what they are doing with our money? That's why we're holding conferences like this, so that you can ask. Not in a fighting manner, so that next time you invite them, they will come. But in a truthful approach, like, okay, we really want to understand, what are you doing? Now, the thing is, if a citizen or if the citizenry is one with the government, if they buy into the vision of the government, there is progress. Because citizens will gladly pay tax. They will gladly use their network to support what the local government is doing. Right? So if the citizenry is asking, what are you doing with the money? With our money, the internal generated revenue, the federal allocation, and all of that, I'm sure they mean well. You see this question, when you're asking the local with the leaders what they are doing with the money, there is something that I've observed as a nation builder for at least a decade now. The quality of leadership determines the kind of answer you get. So if you have a leader who is people-centered, who is well exposed, right, the answer will be different from someone who was handpicked by the political party and has no reason to answer to the people. Whether people vote for him or not, he will do like 4 terms if he wishes. And then there is little or no exposure. It's just party politics from teenagehood to adulthood. The answer is different. I'm not condemning any, I'm not praising any, but I'm just letting you understand that from my experience, the quality of leadership also affects the kind of answers you get. And the quality of leadership also affects the quality of development the local government will get. If a leader is people-centered, is people-focused, loves technology, if he if he's intentional about technology and development, the local government will improve. I saw, okay, let me not say too much, so it's not like I'm subbing anybody. But a couple of times we see videos that trend where you see people receiving drip under a tree. So the tree is where they hang the drip on. Have you seen videos like that? Oh, you guys have not seen. Let's see now. You've seen it, where they'll hang drip on a tree, and then people will be sitting under the tree, and that's like their medical center. You can't blame Tinubu for that. See, if we have a president that is so benevolent, is intentional about the people, he can't still do a lot of things across 774 local governments, even if you give him 8 years. What he would do is to like have a round table meeting with players or people that occupy offices like the governors and the local government chairmen and instruct them to do the job they ought to do. So my point still remains that when he does that meeting, everybody goes back to their local government or their state. Then they do what they ought to do. Those kind of things, there is no reason why the local government chairman cannot construct a medical facility. It doesn't always have to come from, like I mentioned, it doesn't always have to come from the funding from the federal government. But when you work with the people, you can partner with the people for funding. You can partner with organizations for funding. A lot of organizations are looking for CSR projects. Now that's also where quality of the leaders come in. A leader that knows what CSR is would have the right network and even the appeal to speak with big organizations, telecom organizations, tech firms, come and build something for us. So things like that, when I see people saying, the state governor, the president, you can talk about, when you're talking about the economy, you can talk about the president. But not really things like that. We are missing out just because we don't know these things. We are missing out. So now you're blaming Tinubu. It's not Tinubu's fault. So he will not take any blame. And you can't even approach him to blame him. It's just really online. Now the local government that you can walk into his office to say, why is there no medical facility? We are not in his office. So he's also getting away with it. And that's why we don't see development. So it seems like we are shouting and we are shouting, nothing is happening. If we shout into the office of the local government of that area, then there will be development. I'm saying this because I know that a lot of our online audience have influence on social media. We have to know how to direct it for us to get the best impact. I think I'll say two things and then I'll go. I have like 2 minutes. The role of INEC and financial autonomy. So a lot of people, the last video I released, people were saying is rage bait. Was it? I don't think so. I was speaking from my heart because it was very annoying. People are saying, with what INEC did during the last election, can we still trust INEC to vote in local government election? First of all, INEC is not the one that will do the election for local government. What INEC will do for local government election is to send the database of voters of that state or that local government or the polling units. They send it to the State Independent Electoral Commission. That's the SIEC. And every state has a SIEC. Lagos, La SIEC, Kaduna, KASIEC. Every state has their SIEC. And they work independently. Lagos cannot go and help Ogun State's SIEC. Ogun State cannot help Lagos, even as their neighbors and best friends. It's not allowed. So SIEC would, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday, PDP candidates were at SIEC office, last SIEC office, and last SIEC was screening all the candidates. If I'm not mistaken, it happened yesterday. I don't know if APC has done their own for last SIEC. Has APC been to last SIEC for screening? Like to meet the candidates. I know PDP was at last SIEC yesterday. to meet. Validation, yes. Today and tomorrow, okay. Oh, you're supposed to, thank you so much for taking that time out. It's supposed to be validating. If not now, they will say it's not running. And it's doing that for us. But thank you so much for that clarification. So it's the role of the SEC. It's not INEC. Yes, we might have our concerns with INEC and have our reservations. But it's not INEC that is organizing the election. It is LASIEC. If you want to ask questions, go to LASIEC office now, as they ought now. LASIEC, will our vote counts? Are we using PVC? Are we using, what's the name, card reader? I mean, I believe we are using all of this, right? But whatever questions it is that you have for INEC, is LASIEC that we should be asking now. Now, financial autonomy. This is something that is really important. I will close with this. This is something that is really important that is affecting the quality of leadership that the local government chair, LCDA chair, and ward councillor can give to us. There is a platform that Budgets has. I don't remember what it is now, but I think I've posted it before, where you can, you know what, I'm going to see if I can get the link, and before we leave, I'll share the link. You can check on the platform, check any local governments in Nigeria, and you see how much they are earning every month from the federal government. Koshofe, I believe we are having an LG candidate here today. I don't know if Moyo is going to be able to make it. Moyo is the current local government chairman. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it today, but we have a candidate who is running. Koshofe now receives roughly 2 billion naira every month. Chakam, 2 billion. Just enter. Yes, yes, yes. And that's when he enters first. And that division only happens in Lagos because Lagos is the only one that practices LCDAs. Okay. Let's even start having a conversation. You know what? Let me round up on this, and then we'll have the conversation so you can teach us. Because that's why we are trying to have candidates here, people who understand the system, so that I'm not even trying to say I know everything. Yes, I've researched a lot to have more knowledge on this than the average Nigerian, but I'm not in the system for me to understand how the system works. So when we have people with the knowledge and then people in the system, we are able to understand better. So now for the, I said Koshofe earns 2 billion. I do not think Koshofe receives the whole money. It leaves the federal government's account to the state's account. And the state ought to send Koshofe's own, send Etiosa, send Ikeja, like it to spread. So if the state receives, I think Lagos has like how many local governments now? But it will receive for every local government, then the state is supposed to spread it immediately. I don't think it happens. And it's not just Lagos, across the country. I don't think the state's governors release the money that the local governments ought to get. All of it. So that's why, was it last year? What time last year? I think September, when the financial autonomy, the courts, Supreme Court imposed financial autonomy. So that simply means when the money lands the state accounts, it must be sent to the local government. So if you are not getting all of that money, first, if probably only God knows how much they release, but let's imagine 2 billion. If they release only 500 million, how much you get to Koshofe, how much you get to the other LCDAs, and they have to pay salaries, they have to do so many things with the money. So what is now left for the people to develop, or to develop the people? So even a local government chair that wants to work and wants to help the people, it's going to be very difficult for him. I don't know when the federal and courts would make that happen, but I hope the financial autonomy will happen soon, so that our amazing leaders and candidates can start to make life better for us. So I would end this here. and I hope we've all been able to learn a few things. So before we're supposed to go into this panel session now of the LG and LCDA candidates. We have an LCDA chairman here. Can we have, are they going to project his bio? You want to read it? Did you get his bio? So we didn't even, backstory, we had used our network to try and get political parties to, attend. We got Labour Party and PDP, but we didn't know how we're going to get APC or if we're going to get APC. So he showed up this morning that he saw our letter and is coming. So that's really good, because the idea we have of APC members, like I said, is they would avoid conversations like this or avoid debates. So it's really good that he's here. You have questions for me? I really want us to have that financial autonomy discussion. Okay. So let's have it quickly. You know he has to go for validation. Let's have the questions quickly. Can you come forward, please? Come here, use the mic so that our international audience can hear you.
2. All right. Let's hope this. Okay. You know what? You need to come here, please.
Good morning, everyone. There are people who believe that their votes don't count, and should I be? Okay, good morning, everyone. There are people that believe their votes don't count, like they can already predict the winner. So how do we change their minds about the local government elections?
I think my answer to that, let's have like 3 chairs. I think my answer to that is the youths of Nigeria are very spoilt. Yes, I say it to my full chest. We are very spoilt. The 2023 election is what you're talking about, Abi, because the presidential candidates of the youth did not win. Abi, let's be real now. I'm non-partisan, but I'm very realistic, right? Because the youth candidate did not win. And I said this in my last video, Tinubu has been chasing presidency for 2 decades, 20 years. Buhari chased Iran 3 times, 12 years. Eventually he got it. Eventually Tinubu got it. Now the Nigerian youths woke up 2022 for an election in 2023. Backed an unpopular party without national structure in 2022, 1 year. Now, because, yes, was the result questionable? Yes, I'm not going to deny that. So because that happened, we are going to stop. We are literally fighting people that would sit like this and say, for the next 10 years, I'm not letting go. For the next 20 years, I'm not letting go. You 1 year. And we also forget the fact that the youth candidates now, Peter Obi, ran in Labour Party, the unpopular party, right? The Labour Party win state seats, state House of Assemblies. They did? Did they win House of Rep? Really? Plenty. Did they win Senate? Did they win? Did they produce a governor? In 1 year? And you are saying that you are giving up. When has that happened in the history of Nigeria, where a party will come and sweep such seats in 1 year? I know a couple of APC people that were performing well. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, there are good people and there are bad people in every party, including Labour Party. I know a couple of APC people that were performing well, but lost their seats to Labour Party people. Am I lying, sir? And we are saying because the Peter Obi didn't win, we are not going to come out and vote. When states, rep, senate, Labour Party people are there, because the youth came out, there's even a governor. And in Lagos, his Tinubu's base, GRV contested and showed him Pepe. Haba. So if you are telling me you are sad, you don't want to come out and vote, I don't think it's a valid excuse. It's not valid at all. You have to keep at it. This, if you want the Nigeria that we want, you went to school, university, 4, 5, 6 years. You didn't drop out because it was too long. You got your certificate after doing secondary school for 6 years. It's now your own future. You want to do just 1 year. It's not going to work like that. So we have to keep at it. Join parties, come out and vote. So, okay, Sayonel, who is going to read Sayonel's bio, please? Are we projecting it, or Eva, are you reading it? Okay, so please come up on stage and invite our awesome panelists.
Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for our guest.
Thank you so much.
Yeah?
Yes, you can sit.
Hello, Mike. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello. Hello, 2. Hello.
So hello everybody, good morning once again. I know you have seen my beautiful face this morning, but Alright, so the first person on our panel, and she's also going to be the moderator for today, her name is Seolen Faith Mulgus, and she's a passionate legal professional with 5 years of experience spanning litigation, judicial research, and corporate law. She began her journey in the courtroom as a litigation lawyer, moved on to serve as a legal researcher at the Court of Appeal, Ibadan Division, and now leads as the legal and portfolio lead at Task, a creative company on a mission to empower creatives through connecting them to the best opportunities. Seonen is deeply committed to justice, advocacy, and making the law more accessible and relatable in everyday life. Her interest in corporate law, governance, and politics and development, and she brings clarity, empathy, and integrity to every space she enters. Known for her thoughtful insights and strong sense of community, she loves connecting with people, sharing ideas, and tackling challenges head-on. To her, where the dragon sits, there the treasure lies.
While we are sorting that out, I think I would like to invite my Oga. So you will have to do your introduction because we didn't get your bio. I'm so sorry. Okay. So he is running for LCDA chairman of Ikoyi Obalende Island, and he is here today. Under APC. Please. Yes, sir. Please join us, sir. Thank you. And you would read her bio, but we would like to welcome the Labour Party candidate, Koshofe Local Government, the whole of Koshofe. She is running in Koshofe. Mrs. Mojibola Rabiat Antonia Oyene. Welcome, ma. Thank you so much. So, if I read her bio and then Honorable here will tell us about himself by himself.
Okay, once again, my beautiful voice is going to be reading out her bio. Her name is Mrs. Mujibola Robiat Antonia Oyeneye, and she's a seasoned business manager, healthcare professional, and humanitarian with 20 years of leadership and entrepreneurial experience. A former registered nurse and midwife, she rose to senior inspector of nursing before venturing into business across logistics, agriculture, fashion, and wellness. She founded the Zero Defect Limited and is an international president team member at Neo Life International. Through initiatives like Overflowing Vessel and Ignite, she has empowered women, widows, and youth through skill training and large conferences. She also co-organized Healing Fest, offering free therapy to trauma survivors. Mujibola partners with organizations like the Diabetes and Limb Salvage Foundation and Strandfold Support Foundation, advocating for women's and children's health and safety. Politically, she served as woman leader of Koshofe LGA from 2022 to 2023 and deputy women leader of Lagos State from 2023 to March 2025. She is currently contesting for executive chairman of Koshofe local government, focused on inclusive governance and public health reform. Please give her a round of applause.
Good morning, or yes, we are still in the mornings. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As I earlier introduced myself, I'm Seyomen Faith Mowos, and I am extremely honored to be here. I think my primary goal for today is to learn the most I can, because the local government system is one of those systems that we all just don't care about, you know. It's like, they're there, but they're our guys. And they really do at the end of the day. So we're looking to go and talk to the governors and to the senators, you know. And we don't even know that, as one of my favorite quotes is, where the dragon sits, there the treasure lies. And we don't even know that. And so we just leave that out and let good opportunities pass us by. And I'm really grateful for the exposition that Eromosele had given earlier when he started speaking. It was quite enlightening. And I think the goal for this session is to sort of deep dive into what Eroms had already started, asking more detailed questions. This is sort of going to be like a teaching session, yeah? And so interestingly, both of our conversationalists today are called Bolas. So I was just talking to Mr. Bola here. I was like, what would you rather I refer to you as? He was just like, just Bola. So I'm going to have a problem with Mr. Bola, Mrs. Okay, hers is Mojibola, so I think I can do Mojibola, right? Okay, we'll go that way. Okay, so I would be a bit, biased. I'll say, let's start with the women first. So my first question would be to Mrs. Mojibola. Yes. Okay, thank you. So we've read your bio. I've also read your bio, and I know you come from a background of nurse. You have a nursing background. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. And it's quite interesting. When I was reading, I was like, what inspired someone from the nursing background? You hardly see it. I'm from down north. You hardly see someone from that sort of background, venturing into entrepreneurship and then political office and stuff like that. So I would really want to know the story behind that, right? What inspired you to start from that?
Thank you so much. I really want to say thank you for the opportunity, this very rare opportunity given to us to be here. It's a privilege, and we are not taking that for granted. I'm grateful for this platform, and I pray that God will continue to empower, continue to help this platform to achieve its purpose, because it's huge. What you are doing, you might not understand it. So I'm grateful. Thank you so much for this opportunity. My name's Mujibola Antonia Rabia Toyine. It's always a question. Why you having Antonia? Why you having Rabiat? Why you having? How did you cut across? Those are another story for another day. So I took that out because of the question you asked. Why am I actually from the background of nursing, interested in business and politics? Okay, so as my name implies, it's quite diverse, so you can understand that this person must be from a very liberal background and is able to decide and what he or she wants, what she wants in this case. So as a nurse, I'd worked and retired with the correctional service. I retired voluntarily 20 years back because I didn't like what I was seeing. I believe that we can do more. With being out there, we can actually do more. I can achieve more. I have the capacity to do more. So I felt choked in there. I remember clearly that my retirement was not accepted. I had to tell them I need to leave. I need to explore. I need to know what is happening in the environment so that I can help. What I was doing there wasn't enough for me. I felt there's a vacuum. I felt I can give more. So I was shocked in a way because I was not delivering as much, even though as they always call me number one nurse, but I felt that I wasn't delivering enough. Before I worked with correctional service, I worked with the likes of First Consultants and one or two other private hospitals, and I was at my best. So it wasn't as if I wasn't achieving enough as a medical personnel or medical, I knew that I could give more, so I needed to just venture out. So that was why I went into different business organizations and tried to do my best. So coming into politics, there is no way. Right back in school, I've always been into one political position or the other. So the question is, I always love to ask questions, can we do more? Is this the best we can offer? And that curiosity is what drives me to say, what can we do? So when our platform came up, the Labour Party platform, which gives everybody, especially the youth, the space to operate and to be what they want to be, I dived into it. And that's why my political history, though I've been voting, I've been participating, but not a card-carrying member, particularly of any political party. So when Labour Party came and I saw the value, I saw what they stand for, I saw the platform that can encourage as many youths as possible to come in. And that was why I went into it. And I did all I could do, and I achieved what nobody has achieved in Lagos State during that election, and I was motivated that we could do more. So with what we achieved during the last political section, I believe that this time around, if we are out there, the youths that are actually aggrieved, those that are discouraged, if we can mentor them and let's push them forward, they are they are going to be proud of what we are going to do, and they will be willing to join the political race. And that's why we are here, especially at the grassroots, which most people neglect. Most people think that they just write it, nobody decide, they decide what happens. And I believe we can query that, we can question that, we can achieve more. And I thank God that many youths came out this time around to contest for councillorship and even chairmanship position. So thank you so much. That's what's driving me. We can get more, we can do more, and we have the capacity, we have the people out there that can actually do more if we can only encourage them to come out. And that's why I'm just here to encourage people to come out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mrs. Bolaji. I'm going to come back to that point of your drive for more. That would be my next question, but I would also love to hear from Bola. Just give us like a brief of your story from where you started from and then why you're here now.
Good morning, everyone. My name is. Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name is Bola Oladejoye. I am the candidate for the local government election for Ikoyi-Obalende, representing the APC party. My story is quite short. Politics actually found me.
Interesting.
Very interesting, right? I come from a family of politicians, and I have a drive and a passion to understand that in every situation, there are opportunities. If one were to dwell on the challenges we face as individuals, as a nation, we might as well give up and just hang up the boots. I will use my local experience to expatiate on the reason why I'm into politics. I live in Ikoyi and I see every day the opportunities and the beauty of Ikoyi. Like everything else, there were challenges and there are challenges. And I said to myself, what could I do to make things better? And it all started by, coming as a private citizen to make sure the roads are clean, people are being helped, etc., etc. And I ran for the State of Assembly in 2019. I didn't get a ticket of the party. The next election cycle, I ran again. Same thing happened. This time around, I got the ticket of the party to run as local government chairman. The idea that this thing is serve a la carte, it's actually ill-conceived. Nothing is serve a la carte. You must ask to be given. Or you must be seen to need or want it to be given. If I were to earlier today, the moderator was asking how many of us go to our ward meetings. Nobody raised up their hands. Political engagement is not something that starts today. It has to start from yesterday. You have to be seen to be engaging. You have to understand the structure. You have to understand that to serve the people, it's a process. It's not just something you wake up and understand, oh, I want to be local government chairman, like my sister has said down here. She has experience to understand that this thing is a process. So my motivation in summary is to understand that there are challenges, there are surmountable challenges, and being a participant in the political process, it's the best way to engage your people, to solve problems, and to understand that participation in the political process is the best way to get your message across. And I will urge more people to be participants in the political process. It doesn't matter what party, it doesn't matter what group. What's important is being a participant in the political process is the key and the best way to get your message across. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you for your comments on being key to be participate in the political process. And the local government elections in Lagos State are fast approaching. I think it's 12th now. Yeah. So, what would you? Because let me use myself as an example right now. I'd say, oh, okay. If you're telling me to participate in these local government elections, why am I participating? So this brings me to the question of what are you going to do as a local government chairman? Why are you running for this office? And I think Erams had earlier given like a brief exposition, but I personally prefer when we have practical, relatable examples of why we are doing what we are doing. So you're running for local government chairman. What's your function there? What are you going to go and do there? What is the problem that you sat down, you saw, and said, I want to go for this office, and this is what I want to solve in this office?
Thank you very much, ma'am. The role of the local government chairman is we are the closest to the grassroots. And in my own case, for example, I'll just dwell into the idea of local government and LCDs. I think that was a area down there. So, let us say, for example, that, does have 20 local governments and 37 LCDs. The LCDs are a subset of the local governments. I'll give an example in Ethiopia. Prior to the formation of the LCDs, we used to have Ethiopia local government. So Ethiopia local government has broken into four areas, of which one is Ikoyobalele, which I intend to represent. We have Iro Victoria Island, we have Ethiopia local government, and we have Ethiopia East local government. So Ethiopia local government used to be one entity. The headquarters was on Global Road in Ikoyi. But now we have 4 entities, and Ethiopia still exists, but it exists in a smaller format. It's now a subset of the 4, which used to make up Ethiopia local government. My role, so that's that. So, and again, the LCDs and the local government have similar roles, if not, they're pretty much equal. But Constitution of Nigeria recognizes, 774 and 20 local governments is one of those 774 we have, I believe. So, in the real sense of it, if the local government chairman of Ethiopia is sat next to me, we have, mirror roles. It's just that. Ours is just called local government, mine is called LCD.
Okay, but okay. That's not, it's not constitutionally recognized.
Well, yes, but the states, LCD is a question of the states. So, obviously, constitutionally becomes a debate for something else. But are we conducting elections in a fixed local government? The answer is yes. So that shows that it's something that is yet to be in that sense. Obviously, local government elections are being conducted by LASEC. In Lagos State, the chairman of the LASEC is Justice Bola Igile, which is chairman of LASEC in Lagos State. So going back to, so LASEC is conducting election not for APC, but for all the parties, Labour, PDP, and LASEC is it's not a partial stuff. It's meant to conduct a transparent, credible election, and we expect that to take place in July the 12th. Now, the function of local government chairman is to I'll start with education, primary health care, infrastructure, and what have you. When it comes to the schools, for example, the local government is meant to supervise junior secondary schools and primary schools. In Ikoyobalele, we have 16 junior secondary schools and 5 primary schools. So our job as local government chairman is to supervise, make sure the quality is adhered to, the standard is kept, the standards are kept, and the children have an atmosphere to learn in a very conducive environment.
I would love you to expand on supervise.
Well, supervision is to make sure that we provide basic infrastructure, to make sure the teaching standards are met, obviously in conjunction with the state government and other entities that monitor and supervises schooling in the state. So, for example, our job as local government chairman is to make sure the children don't study in a room where the roof is leaking. We provide chairs and tables for them to study, chalkboards and what have you. And that is on the educational side, which I said junior secondary schools and primary schools. And in my local government, for example, we have one primary health care, which is in Lges, in Obalinde Axis. My local government has a good and a bad problem. It's an expensive area whereby you can't just buy a piece of land and just Ikoyi, as you know, can be expensive. So we have a primary care in there. Maintenance of roads is part of our function, and also to make sure that the other things that will bring local succor to the people, are part of what we're supposed to do. What informed my what do I intend to do as local government chairman? I need to prioritize education. I remember back in the days, Lagos State had just what is called, for a lack of a better word, public schools. And there came the model college schools, 5 of them, Meron, Kanko, Igbobo, etc. So I intend to replicate such in my local government and make a model school out of all the schools, whereby everybody can be proud, irrespective of classification society. You can be able to send your children and your wards to such schools. So something akin to a private school, whereby you have all the infrastructure to make sure that schooling is made conducive for the children, and also to fix the roads. Ikoyi still has some roads that I think that are just low-hanging fruit we can fix. And let's not forget something. I believe every government loves and would love to do more, but let's not forget that paucity of funds is a key issue that we all face. Like the moderator said, the ROMs, like if Koshofe local government gets 2 billion according to him, that 2 billion doesn't come to Koshofe local government. It comes to Koshofe and is divided between Koshofe local government and the LCDAs. Am I correct to say that? So imagine a local government getting 400, 500 million a month, and you want to fix the schools, you want to fix the roads, you want to pay salaries, you want to maintain this. It's really very challenging.
Yeah.
So we need to thank our president for pursuing the idea of local government autonomy. And I believe in his wisdom, and that's the right thing to do. We deserve to have more money to face the challenges we face, because we are the closest to our people. And I believe that if in the end we see this local autonomy revenue stuff to the end, we might have more monies to be able to face the challenges. There are monumental challenges. There are a lot of challenges, and I believe that will bring more succor to our people and expand on the things we can do for our people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Mrs. Mobolaji, Mojibola, my bad, Mojibola. My question is, we've spoken about, from your profession, you've dealt with a lot of things around quality of life, of individuals, and all of those things. You've seen the way it can degenerate, things can degenerate with people when they don't have the proper care they need and stuff like that. But on a macro scale right now, how do you see people engaging with the local government infrastructure, right? And my question is to the effect that, is it the job of the local government to see the problem and to fix the problem, or that there are mechanisms for individuals to go to the local government and engage with the local government? What does that look like currently? So if there's a problem in, say, your local government, is it your job to say, oh, I've seen this problem, I'm going to fix it? Or are there mechanisms for people of that local government to meet you and say, okay, this is a problem, how do we fix it?
Every, and because of my background, which is to see life grow, to see tiny cells become human. I happen to also be a farmer, so you could see things nurture, and you could see things become you could see growth and you are happy when you see progress. That's me. And seeing problems and solving them is key for me. And that's why I'm here. I'm happy to be the bridge between the community and the government and see what we can deliver, knowing that local government is the closest to the people. So when there's a problem, my intention is, that's in my manifesto, is I'm going to run an inclusive, all-inclusive, equal opportunity for all, and everyone will be included in solving their peculiar problems. I'll give an example. I was at an association last week, and they asked me, we are paying so much tax. What will you do? I said, how much tax are you paying? They said, 5,000 naira. I said, per year? They said, yes. I said, why are you angry about 5,000 naira per year? They said they are not happy because they are paying money and they are not seeing anything. And I wanted them, I'm a coach, so I wanted them to answer and give me solution by themselves, so that when I tell them what I'm going to do, it will be what they prescribed, not what I told them I'm going to do. It will be joint partnership. We'll agree together. And I said, what about if I ask you to pay 10,000 naira per annum, and you get benefits, you have your business expanded, you get things that you are benefited, minimum of 100,000 at the end of it. Will you complain? They said no. And that's the problem people have. They want to know how transparent you are for them to come and assist. We have organizations, we have individuals who are ready to solve problems in their immediate community. Some of them are withholding because the allocations being given are not being accounted for. There's no transparency. There's no inclusiveness in business, in budget and in the expenditure. There's no open book. You are not telling anybody what is going on. So people are holding back, and that's what we will not do. I intend to have an open book where both the youths, the women, the schools, the skills acquisition centers, everybody is going to be included in our government, and we are going to work together. Running the open book will help people and encourage people who are out there, NGOs, individuals, to come in to solve. Government might not be able to solve all the problems, but we have organizations who are ready to assist if only they know that it's going to be well accounted for when they are included. So I intend to actually explore all those options to be able to get what my people need in my local government to them. In every aspect, whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in education, whether it's in skills acquisition, whether it's in the area of even removing the young ones 10 to 18 years from the streets and ensure that they are gainfully engaged. They are getting something at the end of the day. We are going to do all that. Okay. We will pick something in that environment and we just do that one thing. We're not going to do everything at once, but we ensure that when we get to the community, with what you want, we tailor it towards what we are going to do so that we get maximum benefits from our system.
Thank you. And I just want to still double down on that question. Currently in your local government, is there sort of like a number that people can call and ask, and say, oh, we want to speak with you? That manner of accessibility and inclusion you were just talking about, currently, does that mechanism or system exist?
In the present government or no?
Yes, currently in your current local government.
I don't have that information.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. You don't know if it exists.
I don't have that. If it exists, I will know. I have engaged at one point or the other. I made demands at one point or the other, but not an open phone call or get access easily and make a request and it is done.
It's done. Okay. So, and that's something you want to explore. Because yes, and that is something actually that should be doable, because the people that you're with should be able to access you. If you are not able to access the state government, the federal government, at least you should be able to access your local government. And yes, just for those working in right now, I just wanted to announce also that this conference is being live streamed and shall be projected in different social media platforms. Okay, thank you for your answers. Mr. Ola. Yes, so I want to double down on some
financial issues right now. I know you mentioned it. um, so let's talk about internally generated revenue, right? What is the, to find the loose word for it, does it have any heavy implications in the community? Or is it the federal allocations that make the heavy, so that we know where we are putting our eyes on, and where we are pressing the right buttons. So like, okay, how much have we generated this month, this year? What has been done with it? And what does that structure look like? And how do people demand, or let me not use the word demand, maybe it's too forceful. How do people request for accountability to see what those things are and what the money is being applied to? So my first question, where is the heavyweight champion? Is it the internally generated revenues or from the federal government? And then the second question, how is that transparent enough for people to access and know?
Thank you very much. Without any doubt, the bulk of the money comes from the federal government. The local governments really rely on the federal government allocation every month. Let's not forget that part of the local government autonomy is also to create more revenues for the local government. For example, prior to this, what we call tenement rates, which is called land use charge today, was under the purview of the local government. Now it's been handled by the state. That's not the revenue moving from the local government to the state government. Things like advertisement, right? Used to be what we call asset today. Back in the days was under the purview of the local government. Things like parking moved from the local government to the state government. I can continue on and on about so many avenues to make money from the local government that has now gone to the state government. So obviously the local government now do rely on the bulk of the revenue coming from the federal government. So it's a big challenge. So again, I'm going to refer to Mr. President. He's done fantastically well by championing the issue of local government autonomy. People think it's just about revenue. It's just about money sharing. It's also about revenue. It's a key part of the local government autonomy, right? Because, I mean, like I said, land use charge, which you used to call tenement rate in the past, I believe it was, you're talking about stuff like advertisements, parking and stuff. So please, let's continue to champion for full, not partial, local government autonomy. And in the issue of transparency, right? I think, let me dwell into the structure that takes place in the local government. Obviously, you have the chairman, you have the vice chairman, you have the SLG, who is the secretary to the local government, then you have the councillors, then you have the supervising councillors. Now, so I would go up so I can come back down. In the federal structure, you have the executive arm of government, which is Mr. President, the Executive Council. Then you have the legislative arm, you have the Speaker and the House of the Speaker and the Senate President, right? Which Senate President is the President, the House of the Speaker is the Deputy, So and in the states you have the Governor, you have the State House of Assembly led by the Speaker. Now bring that down to local government. You have the Chairman and you have the legislative arm, which are the councillors. And in the councillors now what's called the leader, who is the leader of the councillors. So their job, their constitutional role is to check the excesses of or monitor the executive arm, which is the chairman. So their job is to hold the chairman to account, to make sure the chairman and the executive arm of the government is doing the right thing for the people. And the supervising councillors, those are the people appointed by the chairman to function as what we call commissioners or ministers. So you can have super for education, super for infrastructure, super for health and stuff like that. So there are mechanisms in place to check, to make sure that the funds being generated or being sent or given to the local government is expended for the purposes and done through the right channels. I mean, let's not forget there are limits to what the chairman can actually sign off. It's really, really minimal when you look at it in context of, where things are in Nigeria today. So we still have to get, permission from the governor to, to do things over, I think over 70 million, I can't remember what it is. But the powers are quite limited in terms of how you can actually function as local government chairman.
Thank you very much. That was super, super expansive. And okay, so doubling down on that question again, if I wanted to know what the financials are, this me just a normal citizen, where do I start from? You mentioned like the various pipelines and the channels of who knows what, but if I wanted to know as a very concerned citizen, I'm like, okay, we have this revenue we've generated this year, federal government has done this, and I just want to know, what have we used the money for? How do I go about knowing that? Who do I talk to? Where do I start from? Because I don't know right now, so I'd like to know that. I'm sure someone else would.
Thank you. I believe a year or two ago, Freedom of Information Act was passed by the National Assembly. And it is your duty as a citizen to walk into any establishment that's public to demand to know things. I'm sure there are processes to follow to get those information, but I would use myself or what I intend to do as an example. We intend to have a policy whereby it's your duty, it's your right as a citizen to walk in to demand to know what your monies are being used for. It's public monies. They're not personal funds. They are monies. They are meant to serve the public interest and the public good. So you can request for the Freedom of Information Act, which has been passed into law, and we have a duty as a government to respond in kind to such, request. So I've not worked in a local council. I'm pretty sure there are processes to get those information. But the problem we face is this, or the problem generally is this here. We expect the government to come to us all the time. It's important to go to the government sometimes, because when you engage the government has certain duties to respond to your demands and your wishes. And that is why it's also important, like I said, to be participants in the process of governance. And like Erom said, I will dwell into this again, just give me 2 minutes to do into that. Lagos State lost the election to the Labour Party during the federal elections. So the idea that your vote don't count, it's pretty much an idea that's entrenched in our head without us thinking deep about your votes do count. If your votes really don't count, then we would have, what happened in Lagos, an example. The president is from Lagos. It's a ruling party. Yet still, another party came out on top. So please, participation in these things, look, you could either do the Freedom of Information Act if you have representatives, like, for example, if we're to have, I don't want that to happen actually, to have a Labour Party as one of the councillors. You can raise issues that are pertinent to your interest. But if you're not a participant, you make, one party feel like it's all about them and there are no rules, they exist. So please, there are rules, there are channels to get any information whatsoever you want to have. And remember, that's what's called the Freedom of Information Act. It exists. There are processes to get any information whatsoever you need from your government, either governor, president, local government chairman, commissioners, or what have you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Please, a round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you. Mrs. Mochibola. So you were very, very, very I would like to know, what are the opportunities for young persons, like the local government level? What are the, apart from just coming out to vote, what are the opportunities for engaging? Are there internship opportunities in the local government secretariat? Are there, something like volunteers? What are the opportunities where young people can start their journey into this? It's not just about going to vote now. We've preached going to vote, but we need something that can sustain us long term. Because if you're not engaged in the process, then you lose interest, you lose steam, and you're just, circle to circle voter.
Thank you very much. First thing first is actually to get involved. Our day-to-day campaign, we see youths who are just tired. They are just frustrated. They are not interested. And as a mental health advocate, I told somebody yesterday that I'm wondering how our youths are surviving with the kind of statement coming out of them, how frustrated they are. I wonder how they are sustaining their mental health with what they are saying. We know we have a very resilient system. Our youths, our adults, we have a way of just sucking it in and just moving on. Hurting inside, traumatized, and they carry this around. And that's what is actually one of the reasons why I am out here. The only ways for you to get involved, to change anything, you have to get involved in the process. Again, it's important, your vote counts. We say that again and again. So don't stay back. When you get involved in the process, there is something that comes from the inside naturally to want to know more. Why did I win? Why did I lose? Why did my team did not win, for example? Why did they win? Let's see, what can we do more? That interest starts because they don't teach you this in school. It's just like financial education. You don't learn it as in A, B, C, D. Politics is real. You have to be involved to make those changes. From the councillors, get involved with all that you can get involved in, campaign and all that. Now, for me, I've said in my team, and thank God they are all young. In fact, I'm the oldest in our team in Koshofe, both in Agwiki too, and I'm the eldest. So please, I'm the eldest. And I tell you, honestly, I was ready to give it out to a younger person. If somebody else had said, a younger generation that I know, sincere and serious, is ready to run, I'll step down. I will have done that. My chairman knows this here. Everybody knows him. I'm not hiding it because I want the younger generation to actually feel and believe in this system. That is worth fighting for. I don't let the narrative they are selling that it doesn't count or you can't do anything about it consume you. You have a lot of potential. So, how do we intend to do that? How do we intend to involve the youths as part of the advisory board as we get started? Rooms for internship, skill acquisition program in all the wards. Ensure that they are involved even in the budget and planning. Let us know what you have to offer. Get involved in the system. What do you want us to do? There is no way you are involved and you will not be able to ask questions. Because you are the planner. You are part of the system. So it will be easier for a colleague of yours from somewhere to say, hey, this project that you guys are doing for the past 2 years, you quoted so amount. How much have we spent? What are we doing? And you know your future is tied to that. So you don't don't allow anybody come from anywhere to mess you up. So we intend to involve youths in our system to advise, to carry out what we are doing, to ensure that they are part of the system, to monitor, and to be ready to ask people on social media, normal media, get them involved in running this administration for us. That's our plan, because the tomorrow, they are tomorrow, and the earlier they get involved, the better for every one of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. There's so much more to talk about, but unfortunately, our time for this panel session has come to an end. Yes, I can see the passion was rising, but yes, our session for this has ended, and thank you so much, Mr. Bola. Thank you, Mrs. G. Bola. Yes, thank you so much, and to our listeners, thank you as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us. Thank you.
So we're going straight into the second session. We're going straight into the second session. Please, can we have 2 more seats on stage? This second session, we are having LCDA candidates and ward councillors. We are also going to have a representative from a CSO, Yaga Africa. So we're still shedding light and asking questions. We want to understand this LCDA thing. What does it mean? This ward councillor, what are your roles? What are we missing out on? If you don't participate, we have a lot of questions, right? And I think we need to mention for the people who are just coming, we are streaming. So we have people who are watching now and people who watch after. One of the things we are struggling with as young Nigerians is a lot of us are jackpying. But people that are jackpying are still asking questions, they still want to be involved, right? So because of time difference, they mostly jackpot to countries that are hours behind. So because of time difference, that's one of the reasons why we are streaming, so that they can watch, when they wake up. But I promise you, a lot of people are really, really anticipating these conversations, Mainland and the island conversations. So thank you so much, sir. Please, a round of applause for Sabora. He has to go for validation at the last year. So can we have you want to read the bio, right? So who are we having next? I think I'll hand over to Eva. Eva, a round of applause too. Okay, please here.
read out the bios. So the first person, I'm going to start with the ward councillors. We have 2 of them here present. Or is it 2? Oh, we have, yes, 2. So the first person is Mr. Oluwasegun. Is he around? He's not. Okay. And the second person is Moyosore Badejo. Please give him a round of applause as he comes up. He is a dynamic, purpose-driven leader with a background in accounting and a master's in finance. He represents Kosofe as the youth representative at the National Youth Assembly of Nigeria, NYAN, advocating for youth inclusion in governance and policy reform. His leadership stems from years of volunteerism and service as a protractor. Driven by belief in service to humanity, this passion propelled him into politics, aiming to represent a new generation of leaders. Moyosore is also the founder of Trash Mint Global in Bagada, a company focused on recycling and environmental solutions. Through this initiative, he promotes eco-consciousness, reduces urban waste, and creates economic opportunities. He is a councillor candidate for Ward C Ifako Soluyi in the 2025 local government election under the SEED agenda, which is security, education, and empowerment, environmental sustainability, and deliberate dedication. Championing responsive, people-centered leadership, he is Moyo of Bagada, a voice of hope and change. Please give me a round of applause again. And okay, so the next person I will be calling out is a candidate for the local government LCDA, which is Local Community Development Area, chairman candidate from Agbo Iketu Local Government Development Area. His name is Honorable Shoyemi Adedotun Tolulokpe, a resident of Agbo Iketu LCDA under Koshofe Local Government. For over 20 years, he is a dedicated community leader. He previously served as the vice chairman of his ward in Agbo Iketu, actively strategizing for the Labour Party 2023 election victory. Subsequently, he was appointed youth leader of Koshofe Local Government, organizing various youth engagements, including a successful football competition. He then became the publicity secretary of the youth wing in Lagos State. Honorable Shoyemi is now seeking an elective position to serve his community in Agbo Iketu LCDA. He graduated with first-class honors in mass communication from Lagos State Polytechnic, now Lagos State University of Science and Technology, where he held multiple leadership roles, including head of class. He also holds a professional certification in media. Please give me a round of applause once again. The next person I'm going to be calling out is also contesting for LCDA chairmanship, but this time for Onigbongbo, and he's from the PDP. His name is Olufemi Martins Obagwedo. Please give him a round of applause as he comes up. He is, interestingly, a cultural catalyst. Mr. Olufemi Martins Obagwedo is a tribalizing cultural consultant, serial entrepreneur, and grassroots political advocate with over a decade of experience in the entertainment industry. With a background in accounting and finance, he blends creativity with strategy to craft impactful experiences. He is a trusted expert in event management, showbiz promotion, public relations, and strategy planning. Beyond entertainment, Olufemi is passionate about youth empowerment and community development. Politically, He has served as former youth leader of Ward C. Onigbongbo and is a key mobilizer within his local political structure. He actively promotes youth inclusion in governance and drives grassroots initiatives. His mission is to make Lagos great and Nigeria better. As a cultural catalyst, he sparks meaningful conversations, fosters unity, and inspires social change. When not planning events, Olufemi mentors young creatives, building a legacy rooted in growth, civic engagement, and cultural impact, redefining how art, politics, and community intersect. Please give him a round of applause once again.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sorry, please, can we have one more chair? Thank you. Okay, oh, I didn't see that. That's an oversight, I'm so sorry. Okay, lastly, we have a CSO, somebody who is going to be a representative of Yaga on the panel as well. He is a coordinator watching the vote, Ikeja local government. Please give him a round of applause as he comes up. His name is Mr. Jamiu Akonge from Yaga, Africa.
Thank you once again. And right now I'm the only lady here, so Honorable Olufemi said I should not pressure him with plenty questions. So don't worry, I'll go light on you.
Let's go.
Pleasure having each of you here. I'm very honored to be speaking with you and to be in conversation with you about these very pertinent topics concerning local government and, the engagement levels with the community and the local government. Now, my first question, and I don't even know who I'm going to throw it to. I'm not from Lagos State. Yes, I'm not from Lagos State. So, the structure of the LCDA and the local government councils is something that's quite new to me, and it was very interesting to learn that there is a disparity. I don't think you find it in other parts of Nigeria. I definitely know where I come from. So I would love to understand what that structure is, and I'm sure a lot of people also would love to understand what that structure is. And is the LCDA subordinate to the local government authority, or they are parallel in their administrative authority? And I think I would first start with Moyo here with that question. I'm sorry, we are on borrowed time right now, so you would try to keep your answers as precise as possible. Okay, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. The LCDAs were created in 2003 by the then governor of Lagos State, who is now the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And he created 37 of them, which was aimed to foster development and to make the government closer to the people. There was also a proponent that those LCDAs were created because they were not getting some federal allocation as at that time. Please, quote me. Proponent. And the reason why they were created was so they could generate IGR to further strengthen the economy of Lagos State. So that was why it was created. But in the real sense, it was created to bring governance closer to the people, because there were 20 local governments, LGAs, which is recognized by the federal, and then there are 37 which is recognized only in Lagos State, and Lagos State is only the state with LCDs. So that was the reason. So that's the difference between both of them. LGAs are federally recognized, while the LCDs are only recognized by the states, backed by the backed by the state assembly. So that's the difference between them.
Do they work the same way? Do they have the same authorities?
In Lagos State, they have the same authority because the LCDA has its chairman, has its vice chairman, has different departments like administration and thereabouts. It functions, they have the administrative building also, and they are also elected, just like they will be elected in this coming election, which will be coming up in less than 15 days. So they are structured on their own, but get allocations from the local government, because any allocation that comes through to the local government is being shared within the LCDs around the LGAs. So they are on their own. They are also elected, and the elections are always conducted by the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission, LASEC. So on that day, well, when people are voting for the LGAs, they would also be voting for LCDs in their respective places. So that's it.
Okay, thank you. That's very, very, very expansive. And my next question would be to Mr. Moyo here. Yes. You're running for the chairmanship? Councillor, sorry, ward councillor, my bad. You're running for the ward councillor. So what would you say your role as a ward councillor is, given the explanation that Mr. Shoemi has just given? What is your role in facilitating whatever that transaction is between the community and the LCDAs?
All right. So first of all, as a ward councillor, I'm the line of defense for my people. I'm their eyes, their ears in the council. So basically what we do is we represent our people. So as we have the LCDA, it's divided into different wards because they understand that as the chairman of an LCDA, you can't be everywhere. So they create wards. So that ward basically can cover about 10, 50, 60 streets, which becomes a ward. So as a ward councillor, what I do is I represent my people in the house. I'm a legislative also. So I speak on behalf of my people and make sure the voices of my people are being heard in the house. I am their watchback. I go in there to make sure whatever they want, I say it in the council and make sure their voices are being heard.
Okay. So is there a structure where you have these conversations with your community before you go in-house to, represent whatever it is that they are agitating for?
Yes, definitely. So as a councillor, basically, leadership has to be, if you're not accessible, then you're not a leader. So definitely I will be accessible so that I can, really get their complaints, their wants, their needs, and also take it down to the council to make sure by the chairman, yes, these are the needs of my people, and these are what they want, and we have to get it for them.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so my next question is to Honorable Olufemi. Yes. So what would you say are the challenges right now that the LCDAs are facing? What would you say is the major challenge?
Basically, allow me correct the narrative that there is a difference between LCDAs and LGA. Despite the fact that it's only in Lagos, they run parallel the same thing. The LCDA, excuse me, I had a night stressful day yesterday. The LCDA and the LGA, basically the same thing in Lagos. We're elected into office. We have the same structure as the LGA. The only difference is when allocation are being given, it comes through the LGA, which is the federal recognized local government. Then they distribute to the SCDAs. Now the difference is, back in the days where Tinubu created LCDAs, it was, funny enough, it was for a good purpose, because picture Koshofe local governments in the early 90s, you will walk down from Ojota to Bagada, down to Charleboy, yeah, back to Palm Grove, down to Maryland, and backwards. It's not an easy job for one person. So having an LCDA from the inside that helps reduce the stress for one person. Now, instead of you doing one-man job, for more effective progress, grassroots relationship from the government to the people, from the LCDAs. So it's a very interesting thing. It's really important. And this is why we're here, the grassroots representation relationship to our people. Politics today, it's about the people. So that's why LCDAs are created, please. Now the question is, please, can I get that again?
Okay, the challenges that the LCDs are facing in sort of helping their communities in performing their functions and their roles.
The LCDA is to transfer information, transfer development to the grassroots. There's no challenges.
Okay, you're saying there are no challenges?
The challenges cannot be visible.
Okay.
Do you understand? It's simple.
If you could expand on that more, because maybe the people will feel like, oh, the LCDAs are not doing what they should do. So are there challenges that maybe people are not understanding from the LCDA's point of view? That, oh, there are certain challenges that are not allowing us to do what we need, deliver the services we need to deliver to you.
The demands from the people to the council. That's the question. Do you understand?
Yes.
So I'm trying to find out where the question really is. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, the demands from the people is service. The LCDA is to provide service.
Provide service. So is there a challenge to the LCDAs providing that service?
Allocation. It's simple. It's just a very simple thing. Once the allocation gets to the LCDA, they disburse and provide service. Only when you have complaints from the people now to the LCDAs, that's the council itself. Do you understand?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, I do understand what you're saying. So you're pointing out that once there is allocation, then the LCDs can deliver on what they need to deliver on. No, my question was, what is the challenge? And you've pointed out that the challenge is allocation. Yes, so that's what I was just, focusing on and shining the light on. But you've answered the question. Thank you very much. And to my civic social responsibility people on the panel, yes. So my question now is, I would like to know, what is your function currently in Yaga? I know you work in Yaga, you represent Yaga. So what is your function right now in Yaga?
Okay, thank you. So my function as a coordinator for watching the vote is for us to see how the electoral processes, goes, if it aligns with what was projected, and see that it also aligns with what the expectations of the people in terms of, one, what are the guidelines stipulated either by INEC, but in this case now it has to do with LASEC, which is Lagos State Electoral. But the challenge is, the only thing that the LASEC has put out is just the timetable for the election. So we've not seen, enough information on what the process looks like in terms of, okay, for maybe following the news, there has been, visitation by the LASEC to the local government to see how ready are they for the election, what are the preparations, but then there has not been any information with respect to the distribution of, these electoral sensitive materials to local government to see, okay, this is the expectation. According to the timetable now, I think by now, there should have been display of voters' information. I don't think that has happened, so which is one of the very critical things that has to do with the election itself. And then maybe considering the fact that, people who are living with disabilities are also eligible voters. So is there provisions for them? So these are my own roles now to see, okay, what are the provisions of LASEC with respect to these elections? And has there been any information? Has there been, how do I put it now? Have they put in place mechanism to ensure that things go smoothly during the election processes, in terms of maybe the security that are going to be on board, then maybe in terms of accreditation for those who are going to be election observers and other things that has to do with the electoral process. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, okay, so I just want to ask one more question, and maybe you just hit it directly like bullet points. From your observation of the, the election preparations are happening, what can be done better? You mentioned access to information as a problem or a challenge right now. Going forward, what can be done better in that regard so that people are more informed, people know what's going on, and people are more interested to engage in what is going on?
Well, the only way we can, be more interested and engage is the information that the LASEC has put forward. Because you can't engage on an information that has not been put out in terms of, okay, this is how we want to conduct the election, this is how the electoral process would go. So we can only engage based on the information that has been put out. And like I said, so perhaps now maybe citizen or resident can begin to engage LASEC to say that from your timetable, sorry, let me quickly check. I think I have the timetable here earlier. So from the timetable, so at a particular point in time, so they were supposed to put out the informations. By now, we should know how many political parties are contesting the elections. And I think that information is not public yet now. Though if you go to LASEC website, you can see that there are 19 registered political parties that we have there. Have they all submitted the information about their candidates? So we need to have that information because it's something that should also be made public. Then the display of voters registered, though LASEC does not have authority over that, so it has to be cascaded down from INEC to them, because only INEC has that power to, to register voters and then publish that information. But they need to transfer that information to LASEC, for LASEC to put it out, for people to check their names, whether their names is also on the voters register, and that gives them the eligibility of voting. And for those perhaps who have also transferred their voters registration from particular locations to another location, so which is one of the process, the essence of that display of voters registered. Then let me see again. Okay, I think this has been mentioned earlier, which was what was said the other time, where we have some other panels with respect to validation of candidates by documents, so which is still ongoing anyway. So the date here is 26th to 30th June, so we still need to wait until Monday. Then INEC, LASEC rather, can now publish the name of people who are contesting for a particular position, and then get us that information.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you very much. And I think I'll just start from my extreme left again and go downward. So I won't have to call each person's name. So from you, Honorable Olufemi, you're very young people centered. So what would you say are the challenges for young people being participatory in political activities? And I would like to know what inspired you as a young person to start as well, and then you just tell us your inspiration, your drive, and what you hope to achieve with the political ambitions that you have.
Okay, good afternoon again. The passion behind me running for office started 10 years ago after an incident that occurred. I was trying to do an event in Lagos State, and I needed access to use the National Stadium. It was really difficult to get permission. The process of going through, later dropping from Office A to Office B, Office C and D, and getting acknowledgement, 24 hours interval. Sometimes it takes 2 to 3 weeks before a file moves from Office A to Office D, before it gets back to the Permanent Secretary office, then before it gets back to the person in charge, probably the chairman or the DG Sports. in that community that you want to use their facility, it's not encouraging. And that's some of the challenges as event people will face to use public space. And that's sparked a very, very different chord in my body. And I was like, why would this take so long? With the old 2025, 2024 technology development, the old IT development in Africa, why is this difficult? Why not just create a portal where anybody that wants to use anything can just upload, wait for approval? Why would you have to even come and sometimes financially push papers from point A to point B before you get approval? That's what inspired me to start this. And naturally, I am a cultural consultant by profession, and that's getting the ability to deal with communities and developing leaders. There is no way you could do this without the involvement of youths. The foundation of every country is based on the power of the youth. In Nigeria, they tell you the youths, the futures of tomorrow. The youths are the futures of tomorrow. Thank God for the past 5 years now, we're seeing that change because more youths are getting involved into politics. The passion behind me now running is because I want to get involved. I want to see things work smoothly. I want to see development faster. I want to see healthcare improve. And I want to see more young people that can push paper faster in position to do things effectively. Basic.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, please, Session. Just tell us what is your drive for your political ambitions? What is
Okay.
your drive for it?
Thank
And
you.
What do you hope to accomplish?
Okay, thank you once again. You cannot change anything in life from outside. You have to get into the system to effect a change for whatever you want to do. So my first drive is because I am not pleased with the system of governance going on. And the only way that can be changed is if I am in the system. And being in the system would make me to effect those changes, like bringing the governance closer to the people, making sure that our people have better standard education, making sure that we have good healthcare facilities that can be provided to the residents in my LCDA, to make sure that there's sports to enhance our life, to enhance our blood, to enhance our general well-being, to make sure that our system of governance is data-driven. Just like he has said, there are so many things that we could do in minutes that would naturally take days. If our system is data-based, we are looking for so person, you want to empower some set of people, you want to reach out to some set of people, with their data, you can do that very adequately and timely. That is why I'm always surprised when they say they want to do census, they want to do, before you get your PVC, you go through rigorous L. All these things can be done at the comfort of even your restroom. Just take your phone, register, do whatever. Just go and then print out your stuff with your personal system. So all these things are things that irritate people naturally, especially Gen Zs, millennials. I could remember the hell we went through during 2023 elections. And I made sure that, oh no, we can't continue in this. We can continue being so hard-stiffened. Things could be better. These things are so much, can be done easier. That is why when I become the Agboiketu LCD chairman, people will look for Agboiketu and say, where is this place? Thank you very much.
Same question.
All right, thank you very much. So for me, my journey into politics is based on my belief, which is service to humanity. Because that's what I truly believe in, service to humanity. I got this will I say, ginger or brown to contest in this election, because I was thinking, okay, I'm still young and I want to do when I'm probably, of that age. I want to start with the chairman, but when I saw the age, it has to be 30, and I'm not 30. I'm like, okay, let me start from the grassroots. But what, really motivated me to join politics and to do it is the fact that in my particular area, for example, I live in Bagada and you are surrounded by the elites. And I see no reason why an illiterate should be ruling people like we that are going to school or were educated. So I felt like if I don't come outside, the next time also somebody's going to come outside, it's still going to be this set of people. So if you want to get the change, you have to belong, you have to get into that particular system, and that's why I stepped out. So I was not in Nigeria last year, early last year I was in Canada, and I was told my counselor came to the area to come and see people because he knew this year we'll be contesting again. And he came and promised 7 street lights in my estate. I said, oh, my person called me, like, oh, that's a good word. Okay, fine. I go back to Nigeria. Where's the street lights? He didn't bring it. So he came, made mouths, will bring street lights, he didn't bring it. And to me, I'm like, why would you promise 7 street lights in 3 years or 4 years in governance, and 1 street light he could not bring for us? And I told my dad, this man next year, we're taking him out. I'm going to contest against this man. So that was the ginger for me. And I felt like, okay, so for example, my agenda is very simple, which is called the SEED agenda. S for security and safety, E for education and empowerment, the second E for environmental sustainability, and deliberate dedication. So I'm like, even this street light, we don't need the government's money to install a street light in an estate. Part of my plans is when I get into power, for example, we have about 18 estates in Magada, Minelum Estate, Achuashi Estate, Medina Estate, and and so on. So I'm like, okay, for example, if in an estate we get like a trash can based in each estate, we don't need people to contribute money for us to do street lights, to do solar street lights. From the money we get from the recyclable material, which are the plastic bottles, canned bottles, that each estate contribute. When you're going home, drop your plastic bottles in front in the car. We come at the end of every month or 2 weeks time, we pick up those plastic. When we recycle it, we turn the proceeds into giving that community back a street light. So it's basically like a symbiotic operation. It's your waste, but then I'm using your waste to solve a problem for you. So there are a lot of ideas, and I feel like even if, without politics, I will still do these things. So I felt like, okay, if I'm in politics, it gives me more opportunity to reach out to a wider people within my community. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. And thank you to all the panelists. Very grateful for your insights. Very grateful for sharing yourself and your journey as well. And I'm very, very sure that people listening must have been inspired by what you're doing and what you want to accomplish. I am inspired by it, honestly. And I hope more young people around Nigeria will actually take up the challenge, get involved. I think that's what we've been preaching. Get involved, be the change at whatever micro level you need to do that. Just get involved, first of all, and then you can find your way and your footing. And I'm sure like with people here, they can hold your hands and guide you through the process. Thank you so much, and we've come to the end of our second panel. It's been an amazing journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. We will be finishing very soon. However, I want to crave your indulgence. There is something we wanted to do, but the last question of the last session, they answered the question. One of the things we told people who are running for office is we want to give you an opportunity to pitch yourself and why you are running. So you can also take the content yourself from our social media, our YouTube page. It's this like 4K, so it's going to be very clear. You can post it on social media. However, I don't think Mrs. Mojibola has done hers, and you have not done yours as well. So if you don't mind, 3 minutes, 5 minutes max, you will just come here so we can record it. And you'll tell us what drives you, why you want to run. So my name is, I'm running for, and this is what drives me. So we can have audience see it. You can also have something that you'll put on your social media as well. I believe Mr. Bola did his before he left, Abi? Okay. Okay. So please, those 3 minutes, please let's put our hands together for them. So you can sit down. Okay. Thank you. Fine, you can sit down. So she can still throw the same questions as you.
Yes, I'll just start from you, sir.
Alright.
So, yes, please just quickly tell us your name, what you're running for, what drives you, and what you hope to achieve.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Shegun Adesomo. I'm running as a councillorship candidate for Anthony Village in Koshofe local government. The drive for me started when I organized an event which was free medical health care. Right from while I was in school, I've had this passion of reaching out to the less privileged because I came from a very poor background. So I thought to myself that there are a lot of people out there who couldn't afford what I can afford now. Then every level or every stage I get to in life, I would always look back to the people who are behind me, how to bring them also forward. So I usually organize a free medical health care for the less privileged people. So there was one we organized at Oroshoki in 2019. Then I almost cried when I saw the situation of people. I saw a man who was, was terribly ill with high blood pressure. He couldn't even afford to go to the hospital for checkup. And I was like, if we have opportunities in reaching out to these people in this community where we can help them, give them a good medical, health care, give them a better education, both the young children and the old ones, it's really, go a long way. And I looked at what is really happening. How can I be of help to these people? Then coupled with the fact that at the last election I was very active, ensuring that we choose the right person and election went well. So I thought to myself, if I have this power, I could touch wider life. I could reach out to a lot of people in my community. I can actually organize a bigger medical outreach whereby a lot of people can benefit, both people who could not even afford to go to school. I can afford also to be able to pay their school fees and also sponsor some people in scholarship, to ensure that they get a better education. And that's why I'm here. Like with this opportunity, I believe that life will be transformed through whatever this platform, being a counselor, I could reach a wider range of people. I could empower a lot of people, and that's actually the drive, and that is what gives me fulfillment. That yes, once these people are touched, I will be happy as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, Mrs. Moji, please.
Thank you so much. My name is Mojibola Antonia Rabiat Oyeneye, and I'm contesting for the position of the chairmanship of Koshofe local government. What drives me to contest is the fact that I want to do more. And I know participating in politics with the kind of value that I have, which is integrity, equal opportunity for all, and long-range vision. Through politics, I can actually achieve more of those values and translate it to others, especially through the platform of Labour Party, where everyone is have equal rights to contest, free and fair. So I have a situation whereby having worked and retired and seeing things going on around abnormally, so much abnormalities around, I believe that I can do more and encourage the younger generation to come out, to contest, to win election and change things, be the change agents, not just wish for change, but be part of that change. So I'm here to ensure women, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a community person. I participated in the last election for the first time very actively, and we won our local government, Koshofe. And with nothing, we were all out there and we won. So I believe that the people God has given to us, if we continue to encourage them, next election, more young generation will come out. So I want to change the narrative. I want to make sure that governance is given to the people the way it should be. Koshofe local government need to experience what it means to have good governance. And I'm here to make that happen. Empowering women, empowering the youth, taking out the less privileged, age 10 to 18, out of the street, ensure that they get good education and skills and good skill acquisition center for all the wards. I intend to ensure that healthcare delivery system, of course, that's my strength, is delivered to all the wards, at least primary healthcare, so that our general hospital is not overwhelmed and the healthcare workers dropping dead here now and there are well taken care of. We want to ensure that in Koshofe we have Oworoshoki, highly crowded, yet neglected. We have Ojota that needs attention. We have Sholu Igbagada not getting the best. Most of the estate Sholu Igbagada, we have to take care of their amenities themselves. Yet we have local government. We are not seeing our money being spent. I will always say, if half of the money that enters Koshofe, the budget is being spent on Koshofe, Koshofe will be like a Dubai or even better. So I want to ensure that that is done, and I'm opening up a system whereby we have transparency, we have equal opportunity for all, and all-inclusive government, ensuring the youth are fully participating in our decision making and execution. And they can ask us, what are you? Their door is open. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A round of applause. A round of applause. Thank you so much, Mrs. Mojibola. Thank you. And we've come to the end of this session as well. Thank you for listening and thank you for staying with us. And hopefully we'll see you on the mainland in the next edition. Island in the next edition. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. It's been a successful conference. I must say so myself. We all got enlightened. We all got the information, the knowledge that we needed. I, for one, can tell you for a fact that I am now more enlightened, now more empowered with the right information. Just so you guys know, this is not the end of LG's conference. We'll be having another one on the island next week, Saturday, hopefully the same 9 o'clock till 12 p.m. We expect you all to be there as well to show solidarity. Apart from that, to also champion this cause for enlightening and empowering the citizens of this great state so that they are more active in participating in governance. All right, thank you so much. It's been a success. God bless you.